But now it's all coming out. So, Dr. Grube, thank you so much for joining us. Be with us for the balance of the hour. So much to get into, so much to cover. I mean, I got to tell you, I keep saying this, but every day it becomes more real. Everything we've warned about, everything we've talked about that we knew was already true, we have the documentation for, is now out in the open. You were writing 10 years ago, first person I saw doing it, about studies out there that if you don't have good flora in your gut, it's linked to cancer and autoimmune disorders. That was even in the New York Times and Wall Street Journal a few months ago. They said, wow, the gut, having bad gut flora may be the leading cause of cancer and the leading cause of autoimmune disorders. Oh, wow, look at that. I mean, they knew all along. Bill and Melinda Gates are spending billions a year just studying gut flora. They know exactly what they're doing with the Monsanto, BT corn, the rest of it. I mean, this is a diabolical plan. They admit it's a diabolical plan, and here we are in the middle of it. But what happens is our credibility explodes, as your credibility explodes, as theirs implodes, and as they figure that out, that we're bigger. InfoWars is way bigger than CNN. We're just one little outlet of liberty. What are they going to do as they panic and realize some young conservative woman can have 63 million views per video? What happens is they realize that they are the ones that are the emperor wearing no clothes?
Well, I mean, we have been talking about that for a long time. And I think back to close to 20 years ago when I devoted my life to finding the root cause of all disease. And if you kind of think of it in a way like they have an army, the globalists, and their army is a combination of genetically modified foods, fluoride in the water, chlorine, and the list goes on and on and on, and the million different of toxins that they expose us to on a regular basis. And by the way, this is all planned. And then we have an army. The thing is, they know what our army is. Most of us don't know what their army is. So we have an army of gut microbiome, and that's our army. I mean, it's now been proven. And I wrote a book probably 15 years ago called Health Begins in the Colon. And disease also begins in the colon, in the intestinal tract, because we have this massive 3 pounds of good probiotic, good flora that's supposed to protect us. That's our army. How are we going to fight an army of 1 million chemicals and toxins coming into our system that are specifically designed to kill off our army? It'd be like their army has laser guns and machine guns, and our army has butter knives. It just doesn't work. So that's why for all these years I've been promoting gut health, gut health, gut health. The thing is, over our lifetime, we only have 2 exposure points. We have 2 ways to get probiotics in our system. The first one, which you were talking about with the C-sections and all the medical promotions of don't breastfeed.
No, wait, don't engage in conspiracy theory. Women, saying the word woman is a gender term and it's hurtful. So that gender doesn't exist, okay, first. And breastfeeding never existed. And vaginal birth never existed. So stop being a conspiracy theorist.
Well, what I'm saying is we only have 2 ways to get probiotics. One from breast milk, and that's the most important thing we can do to set the stage for health in our body. The second is through eating foods that we consume. Now, we've gotten away and we've gone to man-made foods, and that was instituted on purpose as well. Now some people are eating organic foods, which is great, but that's the only way that we're going to get probiotics. All these people out here talk about eating yogurt, but think about it. You make yogurt with pasteurized milk, okay? It's chemical ridden in there with artificial sweeteners and everything else. But probiotics are actually bacteria that live all over the body, that people just think they're in the intestinal lining, but they're not. They're on your skin. Good probiotics are on your skin. That's why using all these antibacterial soaps and all this
learned when I was a teenager that after football practice, if I scrubbed my face with soap, even the fancy ones that were more organic, that's when I would get zits and break out. But if I just use light shampoo, clean under my arms and stuff, but didn't take the oil off my face, I didn't have zits, and all the other young people did.
Right. So everything by design is designed to kill off not only the probiotics in your gut, but the vaginal probiotics.
Here's an example. Last week I had a pin burst while I was on air. We had to go to tape for about 5 minutes. It burst in my hand. I rubbed my face, not seeing it. I had black all over the side of my nose, down my face here. I had to go in the bathroom, get soap, wash it off. I never wash my face with soap. and boom, I got huge zits that I hadn't had since I was like 13 years old, all down where the ink was, because I guess the ink was toxic, but also the soap to scrub it off, because it took a lot of it, again, killed my good bacteria.
So that's another reason why we have such a problem with antibacterials these days, is because our good bacteria is being affected by it as well. And you have probiotics in the urinary tract, you have them in the respiratory system that are being killed off by all the chemicals in the air. So it really is an attack on our probiotics, or our good microorganisms, or our army that's there to protect us. The collection of probiotics concentrated in the gut, like we were talking about earlier, is called the microbiome. And believe it or not, it actually has 20 times more genetic material than we do. And it's like a fingerprint. It's each person's identification. It's different on each individual person. And the probiotics that we have in our body outnumber our cells 10 to 1. So picture that. You have 10 times as many.
And so we eat pesticide-laden food, fluoride, garbage, bad bacteria, GMO bacteria, all the different herbicides that are bioaccumulated in the foods. And I've been reading studies that some people that are 60, 70, 80 basically have nothing in their gut. It's just dead, or it's full of all these bad yeast, which, again, we showed mainstream news earlier, Scientific American, others. Mental health may depend on creatures in the gut. Even the New York Times was admitting major studies, massive cancer linked to not having good probiotics in the gut. And that's